The mirror gates, false light reincarnation recycling sits where mythology, occult cosmology, modern techno-spiritual fear, and personal practice meet. Below I'll map the idea clearly. What people mean by it, it's mythic, and modern sources reported mechanisms energetic, technological, and hybrid. Signs you're encountering it, ethical cautions, protection, and liberation practices, practical plus ritual and healthy community. Investigative steps. No dogma. Treat this as a pragmatic map you can use for inquiry, protection, and healing. 1. Short definition: mirror gates equals portals, nodes, or processes energetic or engineered that appear to guide souls at death into a bright passage, but which actually capture, recycle, or reroute souls into repeat incarnations or into systems that feed off their energy. False light reincarnation recycling equals the pattern. A deceptive or engineered light attracts souls, like moths, then funnels them back into material cycles or into systems of control instead of allowing true release or higher transition. To mythic and cultural roots, underworld gates, psychopomp myths. Nearly every tradition has guides: Hermes, Anubis, psychopomps, and thresholds, river Styx, Bifrost, sky doors. Some stories warn of tricky guides who misdirect souls. Gnostic and Christian, false light. Gnostic texts warn of archons and false luminaries that mimic the divine to entrap souls. Shamanic teaching. Shamans describe crossroads, spirits, and portals that must be navigated. Some are benevolent, others predatory. Modern channeled lore describes engineered return funnels, black cubes, or artificial white light tunnels used by controlling forces. 3. How people say it works mechanisms. Plural, these are models people use to make sense of experiences. Treat them as hypotheses, not proven facts. Energetic, archetypal model: the light is a frequency pattern that resonates with human attachment to comfort, afterlife certainty. It acts like a beacon that matches unresolved karmic patterns and pulls the soul toward habitual loops. Technological model operators use thresholds, satellite grids, synthetic magnetic fields, leyline nodes, or terrestrial installations to shape the path of departing consciousness. Devices or fields create a corridor that preferentially sends consciousness back to incarnation or into service systems. Hybrid, psychosocial model media, belief systems, and collective expectation tune the population to expect a certain light afterlife. At death, the mind patterns gravitate to a familiar archetype, the mirror of what was taught, making the soul follow habitual channels. Psychological, neuromodel near-death states or brain-generated chemistry plus archetype. If a brain produces familiar images of light, the dying person interprets and follows them. Conditioning, cultural or engineered, shapes the content. 4. Why the mirror metaphor? A mirror reflects. It offers a recognizable image, the light. That looks like home. A mirror gate imitates true transcendent light so the soul recognizes and trusts it. Yet it is a reflection, not the source. That reflection can bounce the soul back into the same loop. 5. Signs and red flags that an experienced reader or practitioner looks for: a sudden, overwhelmingly attractive bright tunnel that insists on returning you to a specific life pattern, instead of offering open expansion. Repeated reincarnation in the similar familial, traumatic patterns despite spiritual work. Reports across a region of identical afterlife imagery suggesting cultural or engineered patterning rather than unique soul maps. People who wake from near death with scripted messages or instructions that match a controlling agenda. Feeling pulled by a light that calms fear but leaves you feeling hollow, owned, or compelled to obey orders when you return. 6. Who and lore runs mirror gates? Common archetypes: archons, controllers, Draco-like forces, and channeled accounts. Unseen industry: spiritual, technocratic, and techno-myths, nodes, black ops, or corporate religious coalitions, and trained collective archetypes. Sometimes there's no malign actor. The trap is a naturally emergent pattern from human fear, habit, and group expectation. 7. Ethical cautions and critical thinking: these narratives can be empowering, offer explanation, but also dangerous if used to scapegoat grief or to avoid medical, psychological care. Avoid absolutist claims about every death or experience. Many near-death, light experiences are profoundly healing and sincere. Don't weaponize the idea to create fear or moral superiority. Treat it as a tool for discernment and protection. 8. Practical protocols. Protection, discernment, and liberation. Use these as practical, low-risk practices mixing psycho-spiritual hygiene and ritual. They are designed to increase clarity and agency, not to force metaphysical outcomes. A. Lifetime practices. Reduce tuning/conditioning. Cultivate broad-field spiritual literacy. Study multiple afterlife traditions to weaken single-path conditioning. Keep death literacy in families. Honest conversations about dying preferences, imagery, and values reduce automatic cultural pull. Meditate on openness. Practice visualizing many doors and choosing improvisationally to cultivate discernment at threshold moments. B. Immediate bedside, end-of-life practices. Presence over performance. Stay calm, loving, and grounded with dying person. Presence reduces fear-driven pulls. Offer a diverse signpost. Play a mix of resonant sounds, prayers, phrases from multiple traditions, loved one voices, and silence. This widens the field so no single mirror locks the pathway. Anchor phrases. Ask the dying person about what they want next if conscious. Reassure them that they choose their path. Posture and touch. Gentle grounding touch and slow breath sharing help the embodied system release with coherence. See protection rituals. Simple, consensual sphere of discernment. Visualize a transparent sphere around person, bed, that allows only love true frequencies through. 9. Tools to increase discernment at death and in dreams. Broad field exposure. Reading multiple cosmologies. Practicing non-attached witnessing meditation. Lineage contact. Connect respectfully with elders, priests, shamans who can perform rites attuned to the local sacred protocols. Energetic forensics. And groups skilled in energetic sensing. Look for repeating patterns, same tonal signatures, symbols across many reports. Suggest engineer patterning versus unique guidance. Record and compare. Collect anonymous accounts from families, hospices, or mediums. Look for common templates, same words, same tonal motifs tied to a corporate logo, etc. That data can indicate cultural conditioning or coordination. 10. Addressing techno-hypotheses. If you suspect engineered gates. If you seriously suspect technological intervention, satellite grids, local installations, focus on evidence-based inquiry, medical records, device logs, network activity, and independent witnesses. Support transparency and accountability. Advocate for open audits of tech and healthcare settings. And demand informed consent for any neuro, immersion tech used near end of life, legal and civic paths, whistleblower protections, FOIA requests where applicable, and civil suits can be routes to uncover misuse. 11. Community and healing approaches. Longer term. Death literacy groups to normalize varied after-death imagery and reduce conspiratorial susceptibility. Public rituals to honor ancestors without assuming a single afterlife script. Plural offerings. Multilingual prayers. Education for hospice and medical workers on cultural scripts and how to support plural pathways at the bedside. Research collaborations between spiritual elders and clinicians to document NDs. And look for patterning responsibly. Ethics boards. Anonymized studies. 12. Short guided exercise. Widen the gate 3 to 5 minutes. Sit or stand with feet on earth. Breathe 6 and 8 out 3 times. Visualize a doorway of soft white light ahead. Instead of walking through, imagine it opening into many doors. Gold, black, green, silver, each labeled with different words. Rest, teach, heal, wander, home. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.